Hey everyone! I want to start with a shout out to our supporters on Patreon who help make each episode possible. You can also be a part of helping us produce new episodes of Like You by making a small monthly donation at patreon.com/likeyoupodcast. And don't forget to subscribe to Like You on your favorite podcast app so you never miss an episode. While you're at it, you can leave a 5-star review to help other listeners find us. Now, let's start the show. Hello, I'm Noah, and this is Like You, a mindfulness podcast for kids. I'm so glad you're here. Today we'll take a lesson from basketball that can help you visualize your own goals. So, listeners of all ages, find a place to listen where you feel comfortable and safe. As I ask questions and invite you to say affirmations, you're welcome to speak out loud, or as always, you can just think your responses quietly in your mind. Let's get started with a breathing exercise to help us relax and focus our minds. We'll imagine being an air pump, the kind you might use to air up a ball or a bicycle tire. Have you ever seen or used a pump like that? There are different types, from small handheld ones to tall ones that take your whole body to use, to electric pumps that you can plug in or add batteries to, and that work at the push of a button. For our breathing exercise, we'll imagine a tall pump, so stand up if you're able to. And when you breathe in, you can lift both arms up like you're pulling the pump up. Then when you breathe out, lower your arms as you imagine lowering the pump and pushing air into the ball. I'll imagine a basketball, but you can pick your favorite kind of ball. It could be a basketball, a football, soccer ball, a dodgeball, or any kind of ball that has air inside it. Let's try now. Take a deep breath in as you lift your hands up. Now blow your breath out as you lower the pump, blowing up your basketball. Take another deep breath in as you lift the pump up, and then breathe a long breath out as you lower your arms to air up the ball. One last deep breath in, raising your hands up, and a long breath out, lowering your arms to air up the basketball. Good. Now imagine bouncing your ball a few times on the floor. Then imagine tossing it in the air and catching it again. Now on the count of 3, we'll all say, "I like me." 1, 2, 3. I like me. I like you too. You are a capable problem solver, and you bring wonderful energy to this podcast. I want to share a memory with you from when I was a kid. When I was a kid, I played on a basketball team in our local YMCA basketball league. I may not have been the best player on the team, but I had a lot of fun doing it. Do you play any sort of sports? Which ones? There is one piece of advice I got from a basketball coach that I still think about often, even though I haven't played on a basketball team in many years. I was practicing free throws, standing at the line, and tossing shot after shot toward the basket. My coach told me that before I took a shot, I should stop, take a breath, look at the basket, and visualize the ball going through the hoop. He said before you even take a shot, you should believe that you will make the shot. And a great way to do this is to visualize it happening. And when I say visualize, that's just another way of saying imagine. Use your mind to picture the ball going through the hoop before you even take the shot. Believe it or not, this really worked for me. I got better at making free throws just by imagining the ball going in before I took a shot. It turns out that this idea is used often in all kinds of sports. So if you've played sports of any kind, it's possible that you've had a coach give you similar advice. Visualize the soccer ball going into the goal. Visualize yourself making the perfect tennis serve. Visualize yourself crossing the finish line in a race. There have been studies conducted to show how visualizing success can boost your confidence and actually improve your abilities. If you haven't been playing well lately, you may even start to feel discouraged and begin to think that you can't do it. But remember, before you can make a goal, you have to believe that you can do it. So let's try a basketball visualization together right now. Again, if there's another sport that you're more familiar with, feel free to think about that sport instead, even though I will be talking about basketball. You can just as easily imagine a baseball, or a football, or a volleyball. Start by just imagining you are holding a basketball in your hands. Imagine what it feels like, how heavy it is, even what it smells like. Maybe you can imagine tossing it back and forth between your hands a few times. Now picture the goal in your mind and take a deep breath to relax your nerves. Next, imagine taking a shot and watching the ball glide through the air before dropping straight down through the hoop. Swish! The more you picture these positive results, the better you'll get. So why do I still think about this advice, even though I haven't played basketball recently? I think it is great advice for any goal you may have in life, to first picture yourself being successful. Even when you feel like you can't do something, or you're not very good at something, you can still imagine yourself doing well. Because in your mind, you are in complete control. You get to picture things going the way you would like them to. I actually believe that affirmations work the same way as visualizing a basketball going through the hoop. You have to believe it can happen before it happens. The more you say positive words about yourself, the better you will feel about being you. And even when you aren't feeling very good about yourself, you can still say affirmations to help yourself remember how wonderful you are. Like when you're feeling scared, you could say, "I am brave and strong," over and over until you start to feel brave. When you feel lonely, you can say an affirmation like, "I have people who love and respect me," and that could help you remember all the people who care about you. When you're feeling frustrated or having trouble solving a problem, you can say the affirmation, "All of my problems have solutions." Then, take a breath and say it again until you start to believe that you can solve your problem. When you're trying something new and having a really hard time, you could say, "I can do hard things." And maybe that'll help you feel a little better about the hard thing you're trying to do. Or if you've just had an all-around bad day where nothing went your way, you can repeat the affirmation, "Every day is a fresh start." Or when you feel jealous of what someone else has, you could repeat the affirmation, "There's no one better to be than myself." And the more you say positive affirmations to yourself, the more you'll be able to believe good things about yourself. And the more you'll be able to share those positive feelings with others too. So let's say all of those affirmations together now. I'll be joined by my friend Maya, and we will take turns saying affirmations. We'll say each affirmation twice. You can listen the first time, then say it with us the second time. I am brave and strong. I am brave and strong.
I have people who love and respect me. I have people who love and respect me.
All of my problems have solutions. All of my problems have solutions.
I can do hard things. I can do hard things.
Every day is a fresh start. Every day is a fresh start.
There is no one better to be than myself. There is no one better to be than myself.
Now let's smile and take a few slow, deep breaths as we wind down our time together. If any of those affirmations stood out to you, feel free to write them down or just store them safely in your mind to say when you need it. If you have an affirmation that is special to you, I would love to hear it. You can have a grown-up check our website or show notes for ways to get in touch and share your affirmations. Right now, I want to end with a song about thinking positive thoughts and taking deep breaths. Close your eyes, clear your mind. Think a thought that fills you up inside. Deep breath in, long breath out. Breathing in fills your chest. Breathing out helps you rest. Deep breath in, long breath out. Think of peace, think of love. Think of sunlight shining from above. Deep breath in, long breath out. Deep breath in, long breath out. I can't wait to spend some time together again soon. Until then, I like you, I'm proud of you, and I'm glad we are friends. Have a happy and peaceful day. Like You is a production of Perpetual Motion. It is made possible by our supporters on Patreon. Become a supporter by visiting patreon.com/likeyoupodcast. Like You is written and hosted by me, Noah Glenn. I also composed and performed the Like You theme music and other music that appeared in the episode. Our podcast cover art was illustrated by Maya Sane, who also helped with today's affirmations. Our episode art is created by Lindsay Glenn. If you've enjoyed the podcast, I hope you'll tell your friends and leave a 5-star review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. You can send us voice memos, drawings, and pictures by having a grown-up send an email to hello@likeyoupodcast.com. Or if they follow us on Instagram, they can send us a direct message there. Visit our website at likeyoupodcast.com to find show notes, transcripts for each episode, an online shop, and other info about the show. And be sure to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter at LikeYouPod. And thanks for listening.